supply chain friends. I hope you're doing well. Before I get started today, I want to first ask you to please subscribe to the Power Supply channel so that we can continue to spread professional development tips to other supply chain professionals. And in addition to that, if you like this video, please remember to go back and hit the like button. I appreciate it so much, and thank you so much in advance. So today's topic is how to motivate teams, and I'm going to provide you with 6 ways to motivate teams. Okay, and first I'm going to start with some foundational aspects of motivating teams. You may hear a couple of the words that I've used in other videos, and the reason for that is because these things are so important in developing the foundation and the environment and the culture of teams. Okay, so the first one is going to be about connection. Okay, you want to motivate your team members by ensuring that there is a connection between the team members and yourself, but then also between the organization's values, mission and vision, and their roles, ensuring that they understand how all the pieces connect together, right? So helping these individuals connect the dots is important. In addition to helping them connect with each other, right? So helping them be in various situations where they're developing relationships, and not only surface level relationships, but deep relationships where they're understanding each other much better, understanding each other's strengths, and they're really understanding how, as a team, they can leverage individual skill sets and strengths to be successful. So connection is truly important. The second way to motivate teams goes along with the connection piece, and it's really about being an authentic leader. Again, I talk a lot about authenticity in my videos, but truly it is a foundation in motivating teams, developing relationships, and it is the core of really being emotionally intelligent and also self-aware. Okay, so the way that authenticity motivates teams is because it's enabling a trusting relationship. Okay, when a leader is able to adjust, right, the way that they perhaps communicate with individuals, they react to certain situations, the way that they're transparent with their teams, that's developing a level of respect and trust amongst the team members. And a great thing that can come of this is that leader is a role model that the others want to also be, right? They want to model after that leader. So authenticity is also a great foundation in motivating teams. And when you're thinking about, different strategies to do this, I would assess and evaluate how well as a leader, perhaps you have been in connecting and being authentic in those various ways, because truly that is where you should focus your time to start, especially if you've got new team members or perhaps it's a new team. Okay, so the third tip that I have on how to motivate teams is understanding. And this goes in line with the first two, connecting and authenticity, right? So understanding at many different levels. The first one is understanding the individual. Okay, so it really goes back to developing that relationship. Understanding that individual's desires, interests, perhaps their motivations, both extrinsic and intrinsic motivations, right? So what motivates them internally? How do they get fired up? What do they get fired up by? What is perhaps their why? Are they willing to share what they think their legacy and their purpose in life is? Perhaps that's pretty deep, but these things can come up as you're developing the relationship. And also understanding, how those individuals perhaps see themselves growing and utilizing and leveraging those skills and strengths as they grow within the organization and on your team. Okay, so having those really fruitful discussions with your team members and developing that understanding of each other. And again, it goes back to the authenticity part too. So as they open up about themselves, that's when you should also be opening up to a certain level with your direct reports. And then also asking the question of what's important to you, what, as you see yourself growing in the organization, what types of things are you looking to be surrounded by? What type of people are you looking to be surrounded by and connecting with? And at the end of the day, what type of work is important to you as well? The fourth tip I have to motivate your team is to ensure that you're paying each team member reasonably, right? You want your team members to feel valued. And, at the end of the day, if for some reason, somebody finds out that a peer or even perhaps somebody that is reporting to them is paid more and better in some ways, then the motivation of that individual can drastically decrease. Okay, so keeping track of how your team is paid and making adjustments where necessary can definitely motivate teams. And that does also go back to extrinsic versus intrinsic motivations. Understanding why are you here, what matters to you, what's important to you. And there will be some folks where pay is really high on the importance scale. And, understanding why perhaps that's the case is also important. But just keep in mind that when somebody finds out or somebody knows perhaps that they're not paid as well, and they could do just market research, it definitely makes them feel like they are not as valued. So keep that in mind as well. The fifth one is, to motivate teams when the going gets tough. Okay. When things get hard, challenging, difficult, when maybe the rubber meets the road, maybe there are deadlines, maybe there was a failed project, right? This is an opportunity for you as a leader to motivate your team, to continue to motivate your team, perhaps, and to ensure that they know that they are still a valuable part of the team, to provide valuable feedback in a timely manner, to recognize the positives, right, that have come out of the situation or going into the situation. And really making sure too, as a leader, that you're taking advantage of any coaching moments that may come about. And, and this is really asking the questions of, how things might have been able to go better. What could they have done differently? How would they perhaps approach the situation differently in the future? What advice do they have to give you as a leader in that situation? That can really also help develop the relationship and solidify it as well. And the last but not least tip to motivate your teams is to celebrate successes. Okay, so making sure that your teams know that even when the going gets tough, or even when things go really well, that there is a great synergy amongst the team, that you come together and you're able to, appreciate each other, recognize each other, and perhaps do this on a regular basis. I know some teams like to get together once a month, maybe even quarterly, but to do something where folks are excited to get together and asking your team members, what is it that you'd like to do as a team to celebrate our successes? Each individual on the team may be a bit different. You may have a combination of introverts, extroverts, right? And their type of fun or, ways to be recognized could be different across the board. In addition to that, understanding how individuals prefer to be recognized is also important. So I'm going to go through them really quick one more time. So the first one is connection, on how to motivate teams, right? So you want to make sure that there is connection in many different ways. The second is authenticity as a leader. The third is understanding. The fourth is pay right. The fifth is make sure that when the going gets tough, that there are ways for you as a leader to bring the team together. And the sixth is celebrating successes. So I hope this has been helpful for you today. I'm sure there are many other ways to motivate teams, but today I'm just providing 6 for you. Hope they were helpful. Talk soon.